Dormammu, I've come to podcast.
Hello, welcome everyone to What the Fiction. I'm Marie-Claire Gould, your host, and with me is my family. We have just returned from the Marvels cinematic event.
Good movie.
And who are you?
I'm Will.
Hi, I'm Robin, and I will not be playing anything today, but instead talking to you guys about the Marvels.
I'm Kyle, and I'm here to talk about the movie.
So we've just returned from watching the Marvels, which of course starred Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, and Iman Vellani. It was written and directed by Nia DaCosta, and there was 2 other writer credits, Megan McDonnell and Îyâxe Nakoda. So, general first impressions. Who wants to go first?
Goose.
All right, well.
I liked the geese.
The flurkin?
The little geese.
You like the kitties?
Yeah, I called them the geese.
Did you recognize the song that played over their emergence / use on the space station?
No.
What was it?
Is Memories from the musical Cats.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's funny.
Cats 2018.
But I think they might have used the Broadway production. Jellicle Kitties.
With
there was a
Swift.
It was the perfect time to bring that song in.
My favorite movie with Taylor Swift is The Giver.
Taylor Swift is in The Giver?
Yeah.
What? How did I not remember this?
Deep cut.
Robin, how did you feel about the movie?
Yeah, I really liked it. I don't know, I love an all female cast or mostly female cast. Sorry.
I mean, there's like Nick Fury and the Prince on the one place.
I don't know. Most of them were like the main characters, at least, were all women, and that was super cool. And I really like how it like explored more of Carol Danvers, and it was like super fun. There were tense moments, but the tension never reached a point where I was like afraid it was gonna end really, really badly.
Mm-hmm.
Like. It was overall a very lighthearted movie, which I liked considering the way that Marvel has messed me up recently.
Yeah, that's true.
It's amazing you say it was a lighthearted movie when like multiple planets were destroyed in the making of this movie.
Yeah, but I didn't care about those planets.
Like,
I was not emotionally invested. Actually, you know what? I did almost start crying, but not in the way that like other Marvel movies make me hate the franchise.
What made you almost cry?
When the planet was falling apart and they were trying to get everyone off and they couldn't save everyone.
Oh,
and
when they were trying to rescue
almost
the
cried.
Skrulls.
I didn't cry. Yeah, and
that was
Camilla was like,
did they steal?
Really upset about it, and Carol was like, "We can't save everyone. Like, stop caring." And it was just literally devastating because I was like, "You're a teenager. You don't deserve to see this."
Yeah.
There was that one planet, where all the water got stolen and they just left everyone there and they were still getting invaded.
I mean, we presume that when she defeats and heals the rift that she's repaired the jump gates or like stopped the jump gates from existing.
Who knows?
A touch of
Question mark.
Yeah.
Kyle, what did you think?
Okay, so first, I want to point out, you mentioned the 3 writers for the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's relevant to come back to this because it's also part of the reasons why I love the movie so much, because I absolutely love this movie. Nia DaCosta wrote the screenplay, right? With assistance from Megan McDonnell and Îyâxe Nakoda, right?
Yeah.
Megan McDonnell, though, is one of the principal staff writers for WandaVision.
Yeah, I knew that, as well as Îyâxe is a writer on the season 1 of Loki.
Yes, but not just a season 1 writer for Loki. She's also one of the principal writers of the teleplay for Lessons in Chemistry, which is Brie Larson's big thing.
Ah, okay.
So we have a nice tie-in here, and those two writers, they know the characters, they know the performers. I would hope.
Yeah.
And they definitely felt like a continuation of those characters in those shows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tie-in to a lot of recent Marvel, especially Disney Plus stuff that happened in this movie that they just said, this stuff happened and let's move on. And I really loved how they dealt with their own grief and their own hang-ups in their way of finding each other, a way to lean on each other.
Carol consistently, making other people suffer for her.
Making other people suffer for her choices? What does that mean?
I don't know. The whole movie was just
dealing with Carol's decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when she's like, yeah, we should definitely use this scroll torture device. It's a good thing, guys. And then accidentally exposes people who did not consent to see her memories to her memories. It was very like, I don't think you thought this all the way through.
Like, yeah, I use it all the time. Yeah, you use it all the time to see your memories.
Well, she's trying to find her memories, right?
Yeah.
So I really love this movie, and I think a lot of it was just the fact that it dealt with so much emotionality of the characters in what they had been suppressing probably for a really long time. And it gave Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, an opportunity to be valuable to other superheroes. And I really loved that a lot. And I felt like it dealt with a junior superhero better than Multiverse of Madness. So
with America Chavez?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, like Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel was, for me, one of the major highlights of this movie.
A lot of the core aspects of Kamala Khan's character, like that were like mentioned or talked about during Miss Marvel, were relevant and were important. The fact that she is still Muslim, and like there is like literally before she does the double banglet power thing, she literally says Bismillah, which is like thanks Allah, thanks for your good, you understand my character. You understand her.
And did you know that Iman is actually writing a Miss Marvel comic?
Oh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make you want to collect it?
No.
Yeah, it makes me want to collect it.
Does it make you want to collect it, Kyle?
I'm collecting too many comic books currently.
Oh, okay.
He's overwhelmed.
I'm a bit overwhelmed with that. What did you feel like this movie had to say?
I think that the major conflict is in regards to things that you thought are either ignored or buried will eventually come up and find you. And that is replicated in the theme of both the bad guy, Darben, who I believe is she like married to Tom Hiddleston? Is that a thing that I read?
What, the actress?
Yeah. You can Google that while I talk about my theme. So,
Loki.
The Bangles themselves are buried and will find Kamala through time and space. And much like that, all of these things that Captain Marvel, Carol have thought were dead and buried or gone end up finding her so that she has to deal with them and resolve them.
You are wrong.
Oh.
Tom Hiddleston is engaged to Zawa Ashton.
Oh, okay. So it's just significant other. Okay.
And they've been together since 2019.
Well, that's cute. This was definitely their weekend. So congratulations.
God.
Power
Right.
Marvel couple.
What did you think this movie was about, Will?
Light energy. It's about family and how you have to struggle through the hard times even though you may be away from them.
In specific to Monica Rambeau and to...
It's about do others as they will do unto you.
The Golden Rule?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully agree that is a key message in like most movies. And it's a good message from any superhero movie too. Who do you think embodies that the most throughout the movie?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah? Cool. How about you, Robin?
Main message of the movie?
Yeah, what was this movie about for you? When you walked away, what was the lasting impression that the movie had on you?
I don't know. They're big themes of found family. I liked that it was a really awesome, like, continuation of the Marvel plotline. I like that they didn't kill a female character. Well, they kind of did, but not like proper actual death, like multiversal, you're missing kind of death.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the movie, Mommy?
I really liked just them trying to grow together and get adjusted to the fact that they all had to work together. I really liked the training montage. I'm not normally a sucker for a training montage, but
I love a good training montage.
I really liked it. I absolutely liked Sejun Park, who played the prince.
Yes.
And I liked that planet, that it was entirely song based. It was like something out of like Kamala Khan's like imagination brought to life. And like that was part of the point.
I don't know if this is like accurate, but it felt slightly Bollywood to me.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The magical costume change, and then the
Did you like her dress?
I loved her dress. It was so beautiful.
I liked that suddenly, she was in a dress and she was suddenly doing
the song and dance.
like a dance with the friends. But it did convince you at that moment that she was definitely a lesbian, hey?
Yeah.
You picked up on that vibe.
Oh no. The whole movie I was just sat there like, I don't know how I didn't put this together sooner, but Carol Danvers, you are gay.
I don't know if that's in the comics or not.
It might just be subtextual. I'm pretty sure it's probably just going to be subtextual knowing Marvel.
I liked how Miss Marvel's is starting the Avengers, but Junior.
Oh, at the end? Yeah.
I can't wait for Wanda's kids.
Oh, yeah?
Because they're a part of the Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Like they are? They're alive?
No, that's complicated.
Well,
it's complicated.
So what happened to Vision? He became white and then just dipped.
So they're planning on doing a show for him called Vision Quest, which will hopefully cover his journey.
Where is he?
Who knows?
How is he? When is he?
Hold on, guys.
Who is he? Wow, is he?
So what was your highlight moments from the movie, Kyle?
I think that Kamala Khan's mom was a highlight for me. There aren't enough living mothers out there in stories.
Yeah.
And it was nice that she was never put at risk or taken from us, and that Kamala Khan gets to have a mom, and that mom loves her and worries about her, and yet knows that she has to go off and do these things, and yet fears for her nonetheless.
It felt like she was endangered when the goose eggs appeared and they just didn't know what they were. And then Goose was like, my babies.
Yeah, or the kitten's really cute. Yeah.
There's a moment in the latest trailer that kind of spoils all that, which I was really frustrated about, because in the trailer it's really cool and like all these people in white are getting eaten, and then you realize all the people on the ship are in white, and there's all these now baby cats, which you didn't realize they were babies in the trailer, and it kind of spoiled that for me, and I was really disappointed in the trailer for having taken that moment from me, because it's only in one of the most recent trailers that it happens, and you have to be paying attention to it, so it's like, stop watching trailers, and you'll enjoy that moment for the realization that it is.
Like, I remember there being a scene where there was like a giant pile of gooses swallowing up people.
Yep.
And that wasn't in the thing.
Yeah, it was. That was on the ship when all the baby gooses were running around.
No, they're all like separated.
Yeah.
I felt that, to go back to my questions that I was asking the kids, for me, my takeaway for this is that vengeance never pays. Dar-Ben is the strong realization of that, because you can see that her end goal, her point of doing all this, is not actually to save the Kree people. That was a byproduct of her taking vengeance on Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean,
she targeted planets where Captain Marvel had people that she loved and cared about on those planets for destruction. And then when presented with an option to save her people and her planet, she still chose devastation, death, and ruin.
And in some ways, that was all triggered because Carol decided to take revenge on the AI, right?
Destroyed the AI out of vengeance.
Yeah, and didn't really think about what the consequences could be. And it sort of fills in this like massive gap about like, how did Ronan the Accuser rise to power and sort of set off all of the Guardians of the Galaxy things that had happened, and like basically what had been happening in space was all kind of Carol's fault, which is so interesting.
She's been framed for a while as like kind of like very good and doing all that she can to be the best,
but really she was just trying to make up for many of her mistakes, which is also interesting.
Ties in Loki, it ties in everything.
It really did. It tied in all of these products from the Marvel perspective, and as a family that, diligently watches these things and talks about these things, discusses these things, podcasts about these things, but at the same time also embraces these things, it meant a lot for me to see this movie do what I also felt like Thor Ragnarok did well when it tied things together.
Yeah.
And interwove separate storylines into one where you would not necessarily have seen Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau all running around together. We're immediately given, okay, this is where they are, this is why it's happening, moving on.
You talked about this before we went to the movie, that this was like a pure MCU creation, right? Like it's not based on, like having these three characters together isn't based on any comics that pre-exist.
Right.
And how did you feel? Because like you thought that was pretty important and significant when we were heading to the movie. Do you feel like it was successful in telling like a new story in a new medium that separated itself from its source material?
Yes.
Okay.
The flock of geese are coming for your house.
The plot's all tied together, and I loved it because it was like a sitcom episode.
Right.
Yeah. It felt like
it was like the sitcom of the MCU.
Yeah.
How long was the movie?
Not even 2 hours.
Like 1 hour, 50 minutes?
I will say it was really long because we got 25 minutes of previews and commercials before the movie happened. So that really did not set me in a good place to enjoy the movie we were about to see.
Right.
That was way too many previews. And I've seen most of those previews on YouTube already. I didn't need these previews on opening night. They didn't reveal or spoil or intrigue me or interest me. I was just, when is the movie going to happen?
Right.
They intrigued me though.
Yeah,
I had not seen any of them.
Yeah, I hadn't seen most of them.
Maybe I'm changing. I used to love the previews before the movie, but now I was like...
I like knowing about things and like knowing what movies are coming up, especially like that Ghostbusters movie. I actually kind of want to see that because I didn't see the other one, but maybe I want to watch that now.
Yeah, Ghostbusters Frozen Over.
Frozen Empire.
Frozen 3.
Okay, so the movie felt like it was 30 minutes long.
Wow, that's great praise.
It had so much happening that it felt so, like, short because of how much action there was.
Oh man, the action scenes. Those were long and, like, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but, like, wow, that must have taken a while.
Like the fight on the ship between the house and then the Kree ship.
Right.
Just swapping between those because you would have to film them back to back to back for each character because you would have to get the house more destroyed.
Yeah, and plot that out really, really well. I really loved how this also dealt with like trying to live up to the idea that you think you should be. Like Captain Marvel is considered to be this hero to so many people, but like especially as reflected in Kamala Khan's eyes, and she feels so much shame for the things that she has done that she didn't want to show herself to Monica Rambeau, who needed her most. And I felt like the emotionality of this story really spoke to the femme gaze of it, and the writers and director really focusing on tears, emotions, resolving conflict, all of that.
How many fanfics is this causing for you?
Yeah, I love that.
How many heartbreaking moments in the Avengers could have been ameliorated when somebody looked sad if somebody else had just gone up and given them a hug?
Oh my God, yeah.
The hug. I felt so good when the hug happened, when Kamala hugged Monica.
And then reached out to
Carol and was like, come in here.
Sometimes all you need is an empathetic teenager.
Yeah. All we need is more empathetic teenagers. Is that the moral of the story, Robin?
Yes.
More empathetic teenagers.
What I love about the movie is that it tied a whole bunch of properties that we've already had together. And then at the very end of the movie, it
tied in even more.
It gives us a connection to a character we've never seen before in Binary.
Yeah.
As well as a tried and tested and well-known and established character in Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
Oh, that was Binary?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. I didn't recognize her.
Do you know that character from anywhere? Yeah, okay. because I don't know binary at all either, other than the fact that,
like, what I was saying is I didn't recognize the character. So
that's going to give us a great opportunity, because one thing we have avoided so far is all of the XMen movies. And we've not shown any of them to the kids, although they may have seen the first X-Men movie. I don't recall.
We have.
If you have, it was a long time ago.
There's one set in Poland where there's
and we get
like
to see it again.
Like, I remember.
So the start of X-Men starts out in Poland with Magneto. That's the start of the first X-Men.
Yeah. I remember Poland.
I just remember Storm going like tornado mode in the air for no reason other than to cause chaos.
I remember Poland.
What I think definitely needs to happen is we will watch all of the movies and appreciate them for the beauty that they are, because I love them very much.
Then we can watch the Cars movies in chronological order.
A lot of people have been complaining about Nick Fury being relegated and not doing anything, and I'd just like to fight those people, because Nick Fury is very, very old, and he is more used as a source of wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah.
And one of his great moments is when he tells Ms. Marvel, you know, you're taking that bangle to the bad guy who wants that bangle. Are you so sure you need to do that? And she says, no, this is what needs to happen, because if we don't take it, we won't be able to solve the problem. And he says, good, you've thought that through. Don't lose it.
Yeah.
Which is empowering, and also asking to make sure you've thought about the repercussions of your actions.
He's entered his hot mentor era.
I am a mentor. He's Master Oogway.
Exactly, yeah.
He's gonna go to a cherry blossom tree and float up into the air.
God, when they kill Nick Fury.
They never will kill Nick Fury. He's Nick
immortal?
Fury. Yeah, essentially. I loved how much he loved all of the baby kittens.
Yeah.
And I think this is a movie I'm going to enjoy seeing a second and a third time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of joy in it, which is compared to many aspects of the MCU in the recent years. There's been a lot of like sadness.
Oh, this movie is going to end sadly. This movie is going to end in a bad way. Yeah. There's going to be a bad tang. You're going to leave the movie feeling like you didn't want to watch this.
Yeah,
it's going to be ruined in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Saying 5 minutes to go, and hey, bad things happened. Sacrifices were made, but not in vain. Nor were those sacrifices ones that ended a story. And it does allow me to go back to Thor: Love and Thunder and go, right, Jane is standing there in Valhalla at the end of that. So we don't lose her, potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
You know, I was thinking about it, and I was like, how many junior superheroes does the MCU actually have? So we got Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, America?
Yep, America Chavez.
Is that it?
Billy and Bobby?
Billy and Bobby?
If they exist.
If they exist.
Maybe Spider-Man?
Definitely Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Peter Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, he needs
Peter, what's your name? Parker.
I guess Tom Holland is technically like just like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's probably like 19 or 20.
Right. No,
right?
he's younger than Kate Bishop.
Yeah. So he's in the Young Avengers time range.
Join us.
I mean, I think they have enough.
I think it's going to be a great road to joy. I would like to see their more like the struggles can be real,
but there can be joy.
But there can be joy in the pursuit, and there can be joy in the camaraderie and the comradeship that comes with that.
I also want more superhero romance, personally, just for myself. I know that seems romance.
To be. I mean,
it's a big struggle with it. Feels like the MCU, but with teenagers or with young adults, it feels like it's more likely. So,
I mean, there's Groot.
True, he's very young as well.
He's like
19. Thor's young.
Oh, right.
Like
adopted daughter.
Oh, the Rock guy.
Right, he has a child.
And I would really like to see either a Disney Plus short or whatever, but I want to know how Valkyrie and Captain Marvel got it on after Endgame when they
there was some
definitely
there's some chemistry there.
History, I would say, more than chemistry. There's definitely history. She knew to call on her, knew that she was in charge, knew that she knew a lot of things about what was going on with Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And I want to say...
Now we have more Skrulls on Earth. Is Secret Invasion after this?
I don't know what's coming next.
No.
Secret Invasion has already happened.
No, but was it after this or before
this?
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't really tie in at all. But what I will say is one thing that the movie shows you rather than tells you is that grief is a burden best shared.
Right.
And when you try to carry it alone, it doesn't take you to good places.
Absolutely.
And you end up hurting the people around you.
And potentially the universe.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I very much liked the work that was done by these 3 writers, and I cannot wait to see what comes next.
Yep. I think a lot of the criticism online is unfair to this movie.
Yeah, we're in phase 5. Phase 4 was like all the TV shows.
Oh.
I've read about 20 one-star reviews on Google for the movie so far, and none of them have anything to do with the movie itself.
Like, what?
They are all just basically like dark web cut and paste.
Review bombing then.
Exactly.
Why do they not swap places all the time? Whenever they use powers, they should swap places, right?
I was really hoping that Zawa Ashton Darben would have accepted Captain Marvel's option and then seen where the movie went from there. I understand the choice that they made because it did allow for these other options, but it was the wrong choice for the character. They could not choose forgiveness. They could only choose vengeance.
Yeah.
And the only people good at avenging things are... Actually, there's no one that's any good at avenging anything.
Even the Avengers.
Even the Avengers.
Thanos?
And I would like to just end this with my own personal plea to one day get to go to Park Soo-joon's wonderful planet where everybody sings everything all of the time, and you can't understand anyone unless they're in song because that speaks to my soul.
That's their language. Yeah.
Literally how half of my family talks at any given time.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Well, any final thoughts, Robin?
Stop adding MCU characters to Fortnite.
I really like this movie. It's really fun. And if you have been aching for more Captain Marvel, if you are a lover of the nerdy, uncool Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, if you want more good things from the MCU, go see this movie. It's very fun. But you wouldn't be watching this if you hadn't already seen it, unless you're deranged.
I did read a review that said MCU has reached a cultural zeitgeist place where they don't need to explain where you are or who they are or what's going on. They can get right to characters and plot and not have to develop these people for us to know what's going on and how it's happening so that we can get to great character interactions and interesting story. And it did that in an exceptional way.
Really enjoyed it. I don't think it would read to somebody who had never seen a Marvel movie before, but I don't care.
I think it still will, just because, well, it depends, because the person who hasn't seen a Marvel movie before that's coming to see it, they might very well be the one that's identifying with Kamala Khan.
That's true, yeah.
And okay, I'm a superhero, yada, yada, right? And then as well, somebody else who's not seen it, they may very well find their way to identifying with Monica Rambeau or with Captain Marvel.
I love Carol. Like, she's just such a weirdo.
Yep.
I love her so much.
She has so much tension with so many people.
Yeah.
I love that this tiny, skinny, blonde lady is known as the Annihilator, and she's like, please stop calling me that.
Please stop calling me that. I destroyed your evil AI because it was causing wars.
Yeah.
It was causing me personal turmoil. I don't like that.
And then she restarted a sun.
That's very her.
During that moment, I was like, is she gonna live?
I thought so too. And then when she came out the other side, I had a tear in my eye.
I was like, is she gonna live?
Guys, she's Icarus, except she lived.
She flew too close to the dying sun, but then flew out of the dying sun.
It's interesting. It's like really hard to escape a sun's gravity.
Yeah. Well,
unless you started it. Then,
I guess.
The sun's like, yeah, I'll let you go. Thanks for the warming embrace.
It's like a tiny sun, though.
She just went and hugged the Kree sun.
Yeah, just like give it a hug.
Although it really shouldn't be called the sun because that's ours, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, it needs to be called something else.
Kree sun.
Yeah.
Because, yes.
Ours is the sun.
We have the
Yes.
sun.
It is a soul. SOL.
Yeah.
All stars are souls in solar systems. That's why they're called solar systems.
Okay,
Yeah.
why
It's
does
a soul.
I don't think we're going to win that fight.
No, not with Marvel.
Why does it seem like most humans live on Earth still, even though we have this intergalactic space travel that, like, we would have
Because it's not like widely accessible.
we would have lived on Mars.
And I will say one last thing. They have done a very good job of continuing to show us the continued ramifications and the grief and the hardship and the pain that came from the blip. That's such a traumatic event. I've talked about this before, that they felt like they could gloss over it, and they've done a very good job of showing and hitting home just how heavy hitting and hard that is.
They bring it up in almost every property.
Who's been blipped? All y'all.
And then even coming back from the blip, Monica Rambeau, who had no experience of those 5 years, did not get to be there for her mom's passing. And you can see that had an impact on her and her relationship with Carol Danvers.
I need to get to room 400.
Didn't her mom just pass too?
For her.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were some really great moments, and I hope other people are enjoying it as much as we did.
Same. All right. That's the end of this episode. Make sure to listen to Robin and I talk about Loki.
Because that's coming out soon.
Did you get any of that? I'm just
Or that's already out.
I don't know when this is coming out, so, you know.
It's already out. And most of it is on YouTube because the strike's over. Woo! And you can go and you can watch season 1.
Oh, and one last thing. Damn those outfits.
You're
those
right.
Costumes. What a great update to their costumes.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then Kamala Khan with her scarf whip. Yes.
It was great.
Use your scarf.
I
love you singing Planet.
She's just like, oh,
Yep.
this is a really big upgrade to my scarf.
Absolutely.
Not just singing, also excellent costume design.
Yeah. I mean, if you're living in a musical, you should have both.
Yeah, I mean, they also had dance steps. So
Absolutely.
It was the whole gamut. And yes, we should be able to visit
whole spectrum.
the whole spectrum.
Very easy.
And that's all from our family.
Until the next Marvel extravaganza.
Just remember.
Which one? What's coming next?
Oh, Deadpool 3.
Well, we might see that one, but that one seems like it might be R-rated. But I think after that is Captain America: Brave New World.
Isn't the new cat?
Who wants to go upstairs and watch Hawkeye and get in the Christmas mood?
Sounds
Me.
good.
Yeah.
Me.
Sounds great.
Who here wants to watch Spider-Man 3
And
All
get
right.
in the Christmas mood.
and get in the Christmas mood?